Okay, everybody, here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Against the Public for December 10th. I'm Dana Lane. Today, I want to go to the National Hockey League for tonight's free winner, or today's free winner between the Boston Bruins and the Winnipeg Jets from the Canada Life Center in Winnipeg, Manitoba, downtown Winnipeg, Manitoba. It is a beautiful arena. It's a small arena where the fans are right on top of you, but it's freezing there, and it's a small arena, and it is a very intimidating place to play. So that's where the Boston Bruins are going tonight. And before we get to that free play, I want to give you guys an incredible offer for customers who have yet to pull the trigger on an all-access pass. And as you know, we're only about 3 weeks away from the end of 2024. We're going to slide right into 25 really quick. And for the next let's do this. For the next 5 customers that takes advantage of this, you will get the all-access pass, that annual all-access pass that will give you every play that I release for the next 365 days, whether it's the NFL, college football, NHL, college basketball, NBA, Major League Baseball. You get every play for one low price of just $1,000. So that's $350 savings. Normally it's $1,350. And you get every play that I release for one low price, and that's for the next 5 customers. After that, it goes right back up again. I want to give you guys an opportunity to, maybe the price tag's a little bit too high. We're going to come down just a little bit and take advantage of that, and we're going to take you all the way through till this time next year. So you get all the bowl season, all the NFL playoffs, Super Bowl, all the championship games, the playoff games in college football, NBA, NHL Stanley Cup, regular season, Stanley Cup finals, Stanley Cup playoffs, Major League Baseball, World Series. You get it all for one low price, just $1,000. And that's for the next 5 customers, and it goes right back up again. So get on board with that. Thank you so much to everybody that has so far. We're going to finish this thing off. What an incredible Sunday that we had. And it looks like we're going to have another one, another great Monday. So congratulations to everybody who absolutely smashed the NFL yesterday. We're going to be back for more tonight. Okay, let's get to your free play for Tuesday. And we'll go to rotation number 13 and 14. Not back for more NFL, but back for more winning, obviously. Monday Night Football is the end of the week. But you get what I'm saying. Okay, let's get to your free winner for Tuesday. We'll go to rotation number 13 and 14 between the Boston Bruins and the Winnipeg Jets. Boston, 15, 11, and 3 have made their way up to 3rd in the Atlantic Division, just 3 points behind the Florida Panthers, which is kind of hard to believe, considering at one point the Bruins were on the bottom of the Atlantic Division, but now just in that top 3, which is so important, obviously, when we're talking about the postseason, which is a long way away. But for Boston, at least they're not in dead last in the Atlantic Division. The Bruins have won 4 straight games, 7 of 9 after that comeback win against the Philadelphia Flyers. Down 3-1 in that game, came back and won that in overtime. Winnipeg 20-9 this year. They're tied with the Minnesota Wild for the lead in the Central after an incredible start, but they have lost 5 of their last 7 games. They're coming off that 4-1 shocking loss to the Columbus Blue Jackets. And for Boston, the game against Philadelphia, it's really perfect. Not perfect for Philadelphia, but it's perfect for bettors because Joe Sacco, who is now took over for Jim Montgomery in Boston, Joe Sacco got the win, but it was not it wasn't a clean win. It wasn't anything he could say, hey man, that is going to be the blueprint for our success for the rest of this season. There are still too many times where the opposition, and this has been a problem all year, where the opposition has been able to establish position down the middle of the ice. And on top of that, their power play is still the worst in the National Hockey League. Although, to be fair and to be honest, they did move the puck pretty well against Philadelphia, but still a ton of problems actually finishing. And of course, David Pasternak's out of the lineup. We'll talk about that in a second, or he has been out of the lineup. So we'll talk about that in a second. So when we're talking about betting totals, and we're going to the total in this one, power play units are a massive factor because they are going to be on most nights, the difference between cashing an over or cashing an under, depending on what side that you're on, we're going to be on the under in this one. And when you have one team potentially, not going to contribute to that total at all, I can't rely on the Bruins power play to contribute to that total. These are free goals that great teams with great power plays get. Teams like the Vegas Golden Knights or last year's Edmonton Oilers. Vegas is fifth in the NHL in power play percentage, but teams like that teams that come to mind. But last year with Edmonton and their great percentage of their high percentage of production on the power play made it very difficult to bet unders even at 6.5. So we're looking at a 5.5 in this one, and if I can't rely on at least 2 goals from either side, really. I mean, we would have to lean. I can't lean on Boston to get anything. So that means I got to lean on Winnipeg to get 2, and I just can't. I can't pull the trigger on that. I think the odds makers pretty much feel that way as well, which is why this total is at 5.5. Speaking of controlling the slot area, well, I think Winnipeg's kind of in that same boat, and we saw that against Columbus. Columbus definitely controlled the middle of the ice. They got the better of the high danger opportunities, and I think Scott Arniel's team is starting to feel a little bit of fatigue. Again, going back to Vegas, I think they kind of felt it a little bit too. A few times just getting out of the gates on fire, and then they went back into a lull, and then they're playing well again. But I think this team looks a little fatigued to me. And then, of course, you're dealing with your top line center and Mark Scheifele, who's still dealing with that wrist injury. And I don't think he's 100%. The numbers are okay, but a lot of things that you're used to seeing him do naturally seems like a struggle out there right now. When you got your top line center struggling a little bit, maybe favoring his wrist, again, another factor that's going to help us with this total. I think both teams have a ton to clean up defensively. We're going to get a solid goaltending matchup between Jeremy Swayman and Connor Hellebuck. One more note, and we talked about David Pastrnak. He might play in this game, but like I always warn people, just because a star is coming back to the lineup, that is usually a time to run the other way, because the general public is going to bet the over or bet the Boston Bruins because David Pastrnak is coming back in the lineup and Winnipeg is struggling. Those common sense reasons for betting things hardly ever cash tickets. So when I see David Pastrnak returning to the lineup, that to me says, okay, he's going to be on the ice, but he is not going to be sharp. We're not going to see the real David Pastrnak for 2 or 3 games, and he might not even play in this game anyway. But just kind of, you want to watch that after morning skate. You want to see line rushes after morning skate, and usually the beat writers are really good about putting up line rushes after practice. So with that being said, we're going to take the under 5.5, and we're getting a really good number on the juice here, 5.5 minus $1.05. Now, go to pickdawgz.com, get every individual play or every discounted long-term pass is up there on the website right now. We've discounted those. Once again, those season passes. College football has been discounted. NFL has been discounted. Do that every month. We prorate those passes. And guys, don't forget, $1,000 will give you my annual all-access pass. You'll get every play from now to this time next year for one low price. That's just for the next 5 customers. Then it goes right back up to $1,350. Can't thank you enough for joining me. Thank you so much. All the best to you. Congratulations to everybody who jumped on the Steelers on Sunday for Against the Public. I'm Dana Lane. All the best to you and your wagers on Tuesday.